Imagine this: you're sitting in a dark room, in front of you is a flask with smoke rising from it. You're sure you're about to unlock the secret of immortality. Once, people seriously believed they could turn lead into gold. But in the process, they accidentally discovered chemistry. How did that happen? I'll explain in simple terms. What was alchemy? Alchemy isn't just magic from Harry Potter books. It was a real system of knowledge that lasted for over 1,000 years. The name comes from the Arabic alchemia and the Greek chemia. Its goal was to turn something cheap into something precious. The most famous aim was to turn ordinary metals, like lead, into gold. But that wasn't all. Alchemists also sought the so-called Philosopher's Stone, a substance believed to cure all diseases and grant immortality. Sounds like a fairy tale? Maybe. But these people actually experimented. They tried heating, mixing, distilling different substances, and recorded the results. Yes, they believed in magic, astrology, spirits, and symbols. But among all that mysticism was the most important thing: observation, experimentation, and a desire to understand the world. In other words, almost science. Just with a philosopher's stone. Antoine Lavoisier, last alchemist or first chemist? In the 18th century, Antoine Lavoisier came onto the scene, a man who changed chemistry forever. He was the first to prove clearly that water is not an element, but a compound made of two gases, hydrogen and oxygen. Lavoisier introduced ideas we now take for granted, like the law of conservation of mass. Matter is neither created nor destroyed, only transformed. He also discovered the true nature of combustion: it's a reaction with oxygen, not just fire being released. Thanks to his work, modern chemical naming systems were born, the way we still name substances today. Sadly, his life was cut short by the French Revolution. He was executed by guillotine. They say revolutions don't need scientists, a sad story. The periodic table, the story's climax. More than 100 years later, scientists made a giant leap forward, creating the periodic table of elements. In 1869, Dmitri Mendeleev organized all the known chemical elements. He noticed patterns: properties repeat at regular intervals. This was revolutionary because the table didn't just organize elements, it allowed predicting elements that hadn't yet been discovered. Thanks to Mendeleev, science finally left behind mystical ideas and became a precise discipline. So, the alchemical elements turned into real ones, and mysterious symbols were replaced by formulas and laws. What's left of alchemy? Although alchemy is a thing of the past, its mark remains in our culture and language. Many words we use daily come from it, like spirits, elixir, and even laboratory. Alchemy lives on in fairy tales and legends, in movies and books, from Faust to Harry Potter. And even though we now know gold isn't made in labs, the desire to find something magical and unknown stays with us. The dream of discovery, of understanding the world, that's what connects alchemists and modern scientists. So, to sum it up, alchemists wanted to find the recipe for gold and immortality. They searched for magic, but ended up inventing chemistry, the science that changed the world. Thanks to them, we now understand how substances work and can create medicines, materials, and technologies. If you want to know how old myths and legends became the basis of modern science, subscribe to the channel on Fingers. Here, we explain the most complex things simply and interestingly, on Fingers.